As a part of the celebrations, we have with us today Professor Anil Kumar from IIT Taboo. Professor Anil Kumar has his bachelor's from the Delhi University and his master's from IIT Delhi. He did his PhD from the Indian Institute of Science, Bangalore. Professor Anil Kumar is considered to be one of the best speakers in our country. So,
thank you. I came to congratulate you. Good to know certain things.
So, today he will be telling us how by thinking scientifically we can come up with innovative ideas. And just to excite all of you, we will be using magic tricks to illustrate the same. So today we will be talking to us about if we are teaching and learning science or the history of science. So with this, I hand over the stage to Professor Anil.
I can speak. 101 guys. I'm well married. So welcome to this program. Thanks to the Curie Club, Dr. Vishnathan, for getting me here. And as soon as I got the invitation, I looked at my calendar, it was free. I said, I'm coming. So this is my second visit to this place. I was here a year back. Some of you were involved in that. So let me know how many of you have attended this. I call it more workshop rather than a lecture. I know you have attended. Who else has attended it before? Inspire camps, KVPY camps. Okay, 2 of you. So 4, 5 of you. So you are my partner today. Okay. So don't disturb the fun of others. So we'll keep it very, very informal. Few disclosures before I started. These seats are the prime seats. Okay, because when I do the tricks, anybody who's closer will see it more clearly than somebody sitting behind. So choice is yours. Wherever you want to sit, you can sit. We'll keep it extremely informal. Okay, what it means, you can walk in anytime, walk out anytime. When you get bored, you can walk out. We'll have a break in between. By that time, we should be in a position to build up the foundation. You will know exactly what you are expecting and what's going to happen. Then we can have dinner break. In dinner break, we'll give you a small handout. You can read it with fun and you'll realize a lot of these things which you do every day and realizing that you are not really correlating that to science. So that way, and then we'll start after dinner. Whoever comes up or more people come up because I tell your friends they can join us. And then we go as long as we are all excited and interested. So the theme today we are going to discuss is how we are learning science and how science has been taught and how things are changing. Okay, and the genesis of all this development of this lecture has been almost how many years? 15 years I've been teaching at IIT and earlier somewhere else. And one thing which I have observed is with the time, every next batch is much more smarter than the previous batch. That's unambiguous. You can take any parameter and you will always find that the kids are becoming more and more smarter. But the flip side is they are more and more lost also. They have no idea what they are doing, why they are doing, how they are doing, what is the next step. Everybody is just running a mad race sort of things. Been there, done that. What next? Every day that's the first thing they do. You tell them today this, finished. You tell them this, finished. Okay. So the grasping power has increased exponentially. Because the resources and the information, everything is available, so grasping power has gone up very, very fast. Like, if you look at your day-to-day activities, when we were growing up, there was no internet, so there was no email, there was no Bollywood's information, journals will come after 1 month. So we had leisure time to do whatever we wanted to do. Now if you look at, Facebooks are there, Twitter is there, you have 5 email accounts, 10 ATM cards, the news comes instantaneously. Okay? And then when it comes instantaneously, you'll get an SMS, you saw a friend of yours with some other girl, or girl saw with somebody, whether Bollywood something happened, everything you know. That's a beauty. I can ask you on any topic, and I'm sure there's somebody who can speak very well. So the information has become so much available, sometimes you don't even know whether it's an information or a gossip. And worst part is, once information becomes so much available, you start believing that information. Like today I came to know that I'm the best speaker. So similarly, you can tell something about the people where they may not know things about themselves. But then now, think all these activities have to be done by you. When we were growing up, we didn't have to do anything and we had 24 hours. Now also there are 24 hours in a day. That's the unfortunate part. 24 hours were there when we were growing up, 24 hours still there in a day. And the number of activities have gone exponentially. So what's the flip side? You started prioritizing this. Because you're smart now, isn't it? So you can prioritize, this is good, this is what I should do, this is my second priority, this is my third priority, this is my fourth priority. And how do you prioritize? If you know what the reason for that is. So everything you do has to have a reason. So if a teacher tells you that prepare this topic, tomorrow there will be 10 marks for this. All of you will be preparing for that. If the teacher tells you tomorrow we'll discuss this, what Einstein was doing when he was growing up, nothing to do with your course. Forget about preparing for it, half of you will not attend the class. Because the moment you tell somebody, please do that, and I'm not saying teachers, even parents. When parents tell you to do something, you ask, first thing you ask, why? Because now you have only limited time, isn't it? And the moment you ask that why, and if that why is not clear, you will not do that work. And that's where the penalty, that's a heavy price you people pay, because you will not do anything for fun. And the basis of all the research is you have to just try doing things. Keep your eyes and ears open, try something exciting will happen. But you are not prepared for something uncertain, unknown, and you don't even notice it. The beauty of the worst part is, you come to class A teacher will tell you something. You go to class B, the class B teacher will tell you completely opposite, and you are happy with both of them. Because that question will come in a separate exam, this question will come in a separate exam. Which is shocking, isn't it? And I have seen that repeatedly happening. And I'll tell you enough examples today where something has been told to you which is not true. But you still believe it, and that's fine, that's the way. And something which is true, you're not even noticing it. So when you're in the early stages of your high school, undergrad, also to a certain level, you can say that there's a course, there's an exam. But if you keep on training yourself in that module, you will never grow to start doing science. In science, there's no curriculum, there's no exam. Every day you do science. You don't need to come to school or colleges to do science. Most of the early, if you look at the scientists, they never went to any. Same thing, you keep on taking degree. You start with 9, 10, 11, 12 is same. Then BSc, B separates into different divisions. MS separates. PhD again becomes same. Do you know what's the full form of PhD? You don't say that doctorate in chemistry, doctorate in physics. You say doctorate in philosophy. Why? At the end, you start doing BSc chemistry, MSc physics or everything. When you go higher and higher, everything again merges, becomes single. So in the long run, it does not matter what subject you teach. You have to learn all of them. In the short run, if you are going to stop after high school or undergrad, it does matter which one you know little more than the other, because you don't know anyway much. There's only one you know little more than the other. But the moment you go to higher studies, you will realize that everything becomes same and becomes extremely important. And that's the reason your education at IISER and other places has been designed in such a way that you take advantage of all the physics, chemistry, mathematics and biology. It looks like I'm going to do chemistry, so I don't care for physics. And it's easy also to say that and you'll ignore it. But later when you realize that how important the physics and mathematics for chemistry was, it will be too late to do anything. So this is a unique opportunities you guys have it, where physics, chemistry, mathematics, biology, everything is taught as a core subject. And pick up everything, because you guys are living in an age where right now I can be good in chemistry and still survive. I need to be little better than average, but right now the age in which you are living, average does not stand. You need to be better than rest of it, and it does not matter what it is. You can be better than others in spitting, you are still famous. You need to be better than others, whatever profession you take. Now, that's the era you are living. So if you are going to do science, you need to be better than the rest of the people. So today what we'll do is we'll use a lot of experiments we'll do. The purpose here is I want to show you something happens in front of you, you don't pay any attention to it. Even if somebody else telling you something, at the end of the day, gravity, who discovered gravity? He explained it, isn't it? What did he do? He saw apple falling down. How difficult is to see apple falling down? Was Newton the first person on earth? Was Newton first or not the first person? He was definitely not the first person, isn't it? What was happening to apple before Newton saw it? It was going somewhere else. It was always falling down, isn't it? Nobody bothered about it. So do you require an education to tell that apple falls down? If you throw an apple or you break it, it falls down, or anything for that matter. Do you require a formal education for that? So if you go back and look at, do you ever wonder why you come to school? What's the purpose of taking education? Anybody? And you are all undergoing this process, isn't it? Why do you think you require education? So we're going to keep it very informal. It's going to be discussion and lot of tricks and lot of magics and lot of discussion. Tell me, why do you need education? Why are you all here?
To get exposed to ideas to which you would otherwise not have.
Like to expose to the ideas which you otherwise would not have. Teachers mostly tell whatever is written in the books. Isn't it? And most of the famous scientists anyway were dropouts. Whether you take Bill Gates and you tell Bill Gates to again become Bill Gates, that's another interesting part. Most of you think big guys are Bill Gates, Narayan Murthy, they are all your heroes, isn't it? But those conditions and those circumstances cannot be created again. So even if you ask Bill Gates to start again now, it cannot be another Bill Gates. So we only look at those famous stories and try to mimic that. You should look at failures, and I'll come back to that, why failures are so important. So what's the education? Why formal education started? Why PhD is called doctorate in philosophy? Why that title I saying, you know what's the difference between science and history? Tell me, one student. I've written in my abstract anyway, if you read it. What's the difference between science and history? Doesn't matter right or wrong. Say what you feel. It's not.
Science is always open to questioning, and you cannot change history. For that matter, history is always static. Anything in science can be questioned.
Okay, that's one very good. Anybody else want to say something?
Science will change day to day.
Science will
Change day to day.
day to day. So sun will come from somewhere else. When you say it can change day to day, what is changing? Like?
The new discovery.
That's new discovery is coming. Something unknown is coming. That's not changing. Change is something which you do today and is different tomorrow.
So you disprove something and you prove something else. So that's
Very good. So what is science then? Without any ifs and buts. And what is history? History is a matter of fact. And science is a philosophy. Whatever you say, Newton first law, second law, this law, that law, they are all philosophy, isn't it? They are all the best explanation for something you observe. That does not mean that's the end of the world. Isn't it? So tomorrow, if you have a better explanation for that phenomena, it will be called after your name. Although we call first law, second law, but it's actually not a law. It's a philosophy which explains most of the things. So at the end of the day, you need to explain something which happens around you. Once you see something and you ask, oh, that's an interesting, you will take the step to now worry whether you want to answer it or not, isn't it? If you don't observe anything, there's no question of answering. Yes or no? And for seeing something, do you need an education? You just need your eyes open and ears open and see that. And that's where I'm finding a lot of students completely lost because they just do everything in, we are living in digital age, isn't it? So everything is 1 or 0. I know, I don't know, I don't know, I know. this no and this no, there's no connection. It's all binary system. There's a question and there's an answer. Think about it. Most of your information is in form of question and answers. So what we'll do today, we'll take the question and answer which you know and rephrase the question. And let's see how many of you will answer that. You understand what we are going to do? We'll rephrase, and to keep it interesting, we'll use magic as a metaphor. So all my questions have been translated into one magic trick. Remember trick? All of them, so somebody comes and says that I have some supernatural power, I do magic, should not believe. In my life, I've been doing magic for many years now. I've done many magic shows. There's nothing which is supernatural. I wear half sleeves, and I'll teach you everything, whatever we do today. So if I know something by end of the day, you will also know it. It's called magical, but it's nothing, it's all, it's a sport. You keep practicing, you will do it. Okay. So I don't have any supernatural skills. I don't have any other powers, and will still show you as if I'm pretty powerful. But I'll explain to you end of the day. But your point is, we are going to have a lecture in front of you in form of a demonstration. You have to observe that. Then you have to explain what happened. And the science which we are going to use is not beyond your home. So we are not even visiting school. We are only concentrating and we are only confine ourselves to whatever happens at home and then move it from there. Okay? And then somebody will explain what happened, the others have to say yes or no. If I give you an explanation, you can either say agree or disagree. If you agree, then you believe in me, or you